Barrel rolls is the reporter thrown into the secretive world of the Forex Super Model, where nothing is as it seems. Beware the techno monk, and steer clear of Professor Code and his two assistants. Give the senior trader a wide berth, and don't expect any sense from the risk manager.
Good morning, I'm Professor Code and this is the Forex Super Model weekly review for Monday the 15th of the 2nd to Friday the 19th of the 2nd 2021. I've written up the weekly flows, so let's have a look at them now then. So over the week then, so this is the week that we've just mentioned, 15th to 19th, euro dollar -6, so that means over the week that the euro dollar as an FX pair lost -6 points or pips, euro yen +67, euro pound -100, pound dollar +158, pound yen +245, dollar yen +54. So let's look at the flows then. We've got an unopposed positive driver in the pound at +503, so no backdoor flows over the week. We've got opposing negative flows going the other way, coming mainly out of the yen at -366, and next out to the dollar at -98, and the euro was the negative rock at -39, and this was an activity of ±503. So that's the weekly flows. We'll analyse them later. I'm just going to write up the daily flows, so don't go away. Right, welcome back. I've written up the dailies then. So Monday, first day of the week, the 15th to the 2nd, we had an opposed negative driver in the yen. So the yen was weak at -234, front and back door flows, mainly going into the pound at +197, next the euro at +46, and the dollar was the negative rock at -9, activity ±243. Tuesday then, a negative unopposed driver in the yen, this time activity of ±214, no backdoor flows, activity the flows going fairly evenly into the pound and the dollar, so but the pound took it at +108, next the dollar at +89, and the euro was the positive rock at +17. Wednesday then, we'll rattle through these and then we'll discuss them in a minute. Wednesday then we had a positive driver in the yen at +184, it was opposed, front and back door flows going mainly out of the euro at -179, next out of the pound at -106, and the rock was +101, activity +285. Thursday then, an opposed positive driver in the pound at +254, front and back door flows mainly coming out of the dollar at -186, and then out of the yen at -112. The euro was the positive rock at +44 on activity of ±298. Finally Friday we had an unopposed negative driver in the dollar at -90, no backdoor flows, and the flows were fairly evenly coming out of the euro and the pound. The euro took it at +39, pound +38, and the yen was the positive rock at +13, activity ±90. Right, so just to remind you then what happened over the week before we break this down. So over the week then we had the pound was the unopposed positive driver at +503. So the pound basically was the star of the week on the up, and so we had no backdoor flows, and the flows mainly came out of the yen at -366. So you had pound strength over the week with pretty much heavy yen weakness. The dollar was weak at -98, and the euro was pretty steady at -39. So that shows us what was going on in the week. But on a daily basis, it was obviously swinging around and chopping around. Trading was difficult again this week. When isn't it? But it was difficult. So Monday then we had this negative driver in the yen. It was opposed. yen is being, as I said, held hostage to a certain degree with the equity transmission. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then you had yen weakness Monday, further yen weakness Tuesday because it's the unopposed negative driver, although the activity was slightly lower. And then Wednesday, the yen swung the other way, just to be awkward, so that we had yen strength on Wednesday, and it was driving in an opposed manner at plus 184. And then Thursday, the yen started to come off again, and the driver was we were back into pound strength, and finally Friday you've got this flows out of the dollar, albeit on relatively low activity at plus or minus 90. So we'll just rub off this edge here just to give us a bit of room. And then we'll look at what happened in the wider market. So what have we got then? We've got the US dollar index. The US dollar index basically looks like this. That's the price. So obviously the US dollar index, which is the basket of 6 currencies, predominantly against the euro. So the dollar is pretty weak in terms of the six currencies, and if you look at the as I said, the weekly, you've got the dollar as the negative mover. So it's not driving the market, but it's weak nonetheless. So gold, we've got a series of situations like that. Gold's pretty much been pasted off to the downside. Arguably it should have been doing a bit better because of the weaker dollar, but as we said during our weekly analysis, this is likely to be because of rising US yields and a ramp up in equities as well, a run from safe haven buying in gold as well. So oil has been like really pumping up hard, and it's just come off a bit recently. So that's where oil is. Wall Street, tech and S&P, they've basically pumped and come off a bit. So the market's just having a bit of a pause in that respect. Just make some space again. The US 10-year, which is a sort of a fairly good measure. US 10-year. What have we got here? We've got this sort of situation. This is the price of the US 10 years, so the yields go the other way. So as the price drops, the yields rise, and vice versa. So we've got this sell-off in the dollar, and we've got this sell-off in US 10-year price, but we've got rising yields. And Fed's Rosenberg mentioned it yesterday. Basically, they're saying that the rise in US yields is due to optimism on the vaccine recovery, etc. Well, maybe. Anyway, needless to say, the US 10-year price falling, yields very strong. Now, what else have we got? Got copper. Now, copper is always interesting. Not that we trade it much, but it's interesting to look at. And basically you had this dirge period. Then it caught up with the equity market, and now we've just had this big spike yesterday, particularly, and during the week. So copper is really liking things at the moment. They're buying into copper. Remember, China's been off basically all week for the lunar year. They came back yesterday, Friday, and Monday, just looking over the horizon, China's got its rates decision, so that may be relevant. Right, so let's tidy this up then. Right, so basically, over the week then, as we said, we've had this pound strength driving the market in an unopposed manner. So everything else has been playing second fiddle. The yen has been significantly weakened, and arguably that's due to the equity transmission. The yen tends to go down when equities are rising, so that explains that to a certain degree. And then we've got dollar weakness, which we're starting to see in the flows, and we've got euro sort of being static and solid. The euro was the positive rock on Thursday. It was actually negative on the Wednesday. It was a positive rock on the Tuesday, and it was the positive mover on the Monday. So the euro is swinging around, but it's not the euro's not driving the market. The drivers are the pound or the dollar, or occasionally the yen. So it's in terms of the majors anyway. So that's where we are. We stuck 9 trades on, I think it was Thursday afternoon. We've given the positions on whether we're long and short. We could do a separate video. We're going to hold these trades for a significant period. They went south initially. The main one causing the grief is the long pound New Zealand, which has been dropping off a cliff a bit. But we're about 50 points overall wrong at the moment, despite pretty much catching nearly what did we catch? Pretty much 150 point drop in the pound New Zealand, going the wrong way. But anyway, that's a side issue. We're not looking for short-term moves of a few hundred points. We're looking for bigger fish than that. So, but anyway, that's where we are. We're going to do later this morning. We're going to bring out the video for the data cycle, which fills in a lot of gaps on these flows. So worth a look at on the data cycle for the period, which is what was it, the 15th to the 19th. Yes, the 15th to the 19th. So we're going to do the data cycle on the complexes, fills in the gaps there, and next week we're going to be carrying on with the economics and trading videos, and Monday obviously we'll be into doing the market analysis. So I hope that was useful. See you later. Thank you.